I would like to refer to the eco-tax reform that has been implemented in Germany back in 1999 till 2003, where we increased energy taxes in gradual steps in a predictable way so that everybody could adapt to that new situation. And this has been quite successful. Interestingly, introduced by a rather left-wing Green government. Now recently, what we've seen this year is that a right-wing government has adopted further steps regarding eco-taxes. So they implemented a nuclear fuel tax, they implemented the extension of the heavy vehicle charge on lorries, they introduced, for example, an aviation tax. So several elements regarding eco-taxes, and the conclusion from that is that we now see a kind of a cross-party consensus on these elements, because they make sense to tax the bads and not the goods, like income taxation or now looking at other countries, I've had the pleasure of advising the Chinese and other governments, and we see that China is very keen on getting the hands on what the many citizens and companies are doing in their huge country. And therefore the price mechanism is very attractive to them. And that's why China is considering going ahead in this direction. Furthermore, Thailand is going in this direction. They have a basic law where they want to apply several economic instruments, amongst them of course also energy taxation, but also wastewater charges, or generally water usage will be charged. Furthermore, there is Indonesia. Indonesia has huge environmentally harmful subsidies, so they lower the domestic prices for energy consumption, and that's what they want to reform, and therefore they are very keen in operating in this area. And eventually I'd like to highlight Vietnam, which is the kind of success story for the time being. Myself, I also had the honor of advising the finance ministry, and they adopted an environment tax law with a 98.7 majority. You may argue it's a communist country. However, I was told that the average majority is between 85 and 90%. So it's far above our average, and I even had to calm them down not to increase taxes too high, not to broaden the tax bases too much, but start with some positive experiences and then move on further down that road. So we see a lot of dynamic in the Asian countries, because they are also developing in terms of growth, economic growth, very dynamically, and that's why they have to cope with the environmental challenges, and that's why I think price mechanisms are just the right thing to go ahead.